Good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon. Happy Friday. Happy Feel Good Friday, as it always is at Enactus UK. Welcome to the Enactus UK Summer Series, and we are very excited today because we're joined by our newest partner, British Airways, who are going to take us through all about what it's like to take to the skies on the British Airways graduate programme this afternoon. As I said, welcome to the Enactus UK Summer Series. If you're not familiar with Enactus, as we know, this is available to more than just Enactus students. I just wanted to take a couple of minutes before we get started just to go through a little bit about who we are at Enactus UK and what we're about and what our students get out of being part of Enactus UK. So, who are Enactus UK? Well, we are the UK's leading combined youth social action and youth social enterprise charity, developing thousands of young entrepreneurial spirits every year. And what that means is we are based in 60 universities across the country, from Northern Ireland. We've got a team in Belfast, QUB, all the way down to Cornwall, including Wales, and up in Scotland as well. And at that university, if you're a student at one of those universities, you will find, along with your kind of Quidditch societies and your watermelon societies and what have you, an Enactus Society. Now, that Enactus Society is a chance for you to work alongside your fellow students to develop social impact projects, social enterprise projects based around local social issues that you're passionate about. Enactus UK gives you the resources and funding to go out there and really make a difference and impact those local communities around the issues that you care about. We kind of boil down the reasons why you would join Enactus into three key areas. They are, of course, to make friends, transform lives, and build your future. Now, the first of those, make friends, might seem simple, but it's one of those that really can be super impactful for a lot of students. Joining university for the first time, as a lot of students do, coming into September, is quite a scary time. And it can be a really great opportunity to join Enactus, to meet students who are like-minded, care about the same things you care about, and make friends, sometimes for life. Our COO, I should say, I just promoted her there, Amy Brereton, actually joined Enactus at the start of her university, and she's now our COO, and this year has been to 3 Enactus weddings, I think at least 3 Enactus weddings, so it really can form friendships and relationships for life by being part of Enactus UK. Secondly, transform lives. As I said before, it's a chance for you to go out there and impact local communities by developing those projects, social action projects, with like-minded other students. And really, joining Enactus is an experiential learning experience that can develop you as an individual, both professionally and personally. And that brings me on to the final reason why students join Enactus, which is, of course, to build your own future, build your own career. By being part of that experiential learning experience, you develop so many skills, improve your employability, and Enactus is an excellent way of supporting you in your efforts to land your dream graduate role. We provide so many opportunities with all of our partners to support you on your employability journey, and this Employability Summer Series is just one such example of that. So Mariana is going to be popping a link in the chat to register. If you haven't already done so, please do go ahead and register as an Enactus UK student. It gives you access to all these opportunities and more. So Mariana's going to go ahead and pop that in. Meanwhile, I'll be handing over to Megan and Alex from BA, who are going to take you through the rest of the session. So Megan and Alex.
Yeah, good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for joining us. Let me just pop our slides up.
Perfect. Yeah, so thank you for joining us, everyone. My name's Megan, and joined with Alex, and we both work at British Airways. We're currently on the Future Leader graduate scheme. We're just going to spend the next 45 minutes talking through our careers so far, life at British Airways, a bit about our BA Better World initiative, and then a bit about tips and tricks for applying for British Airways graduate schemes and sort of graduate schemes in general. Megan Evans and Alex Roberts, and we're on the Future Leader grad scheme. We're just going to play this quick video just to give you a bit of a taster of British Airways and our brand and our story.
Dear Britain.
Dearest Britain.
Dear old Britain.
We love you.
We love you.
With all your different views on the world.
And your different stories to tell.
Maybe it's your big heart.
Just here's good.
Like BA 100.
Your sense of style.
Your sense of adventure.
Welcome to BA 100. Make your way around to the right for us.
The way you pick yourself up when things get tough.
And dust yourself off. Sorry.
BA 100, you're clear for takeoff.
How you follow your own path.
How you tell it like it is.
Politely, of course.
You've led revolutions.
Of all kinds.
Yet you won't shout about it.
It's just not in your nature.
Instead, you'll quietly make history.
Pots.
Building.
Yorkshire pudding.
Beds.
Discoveries.
UK garage.
Cake.
Rabbit.
Ideas.
And rather a lot of tea. We love you, Britain. You make us who we are.
So yeah, as you can see, we are the flag carrier of the UK, and I think that video kind of rounds everything up of what BA is about. So we are the flag carrier of the United Kingdom. We do fly to more than 180 destinations. I think probably just less than that at the moment, but as we recover from COVID, it's slowly getting more and more. Every season at the moment is increasing number of destinations, and it's always changing. And that's across around 80 countries we fly to. We operate a fleet of over 250 aircraft. Again, as you see, the 747, which sadly retired during COVID, but we've got plenty of new aircraft coming to the fleet all the time at the moment. So a very large fleet, I think one of the largest in the UK as well. And we serve over 45 million customers each year. And recently, 2018, I think it was, we celebrated our centenary. So 100 years of flying. Myself and Megan were both there for that year. There was loads of events all throughout the year, which kind of celebrated that. As you see, the Queen visited our head office during that year. It was all a massive occasion. So we're still growing from that, and we're still going on and revolutionising as we go. And as a company, we aren't just British Airways. The International Airlines Group is our parent company. And as part of the International Airlines Group, we work alongside Aer Lingus, Iberia, Vueling, and Level. BA is the biggest part of that, followed by Iberia. But yeah, they all kind of support each other, and we work together, and there's opportunities to work alongside them and work for those different companies. Plenty of people who work for BA. In fact, our current CEO, Sean, used to be the CEO for Aer Lingus. So there's lots of opportunities to also work across a variety of airlines. And then we all work together as a wider group as part of the One World Alliance. So lots of airlines across the world are our partners. And with them, we have code-share agreements and different agreements, which mean that we can get our passengers from A to B as quickly and as efficiently as possible, and to keep them as satisfied as possible as well.
And sort of one element of British Airways is that we are linked with Comic Relief. So we've got a charity partnership called Flying Star, and it's a big focus for everyone within the business, whether you're cabin crew or in head office. So far, I think it's now over £25 million we've raised for Flying Star. And it's definitely a big passion for sort of everyone across the business, with charity events and partnerships where we have lots of different events to raise money. So it's a really sort of important part of the BA brand and sort of the employees across the business as well. So a little bit about myself and Alex and our sort of career journey so far. So we both joined in 2018 on the placement programme. So when you come out of university in your penultimate year and you work for the year before going back for your final year. So I was at Newcastle University doing marketing management. Then I came to BA in 2018 for my placement year, where I had the role as campaign executive. So in the marketing department, working on things such as our tactical campaigns, so sales or anything sort of revenue driving. A lot of work across social media and sort of our brand presence there. I had some involvement in partnerships. So we partner with lots of different businesses. For example, Twickenham, we've got a great partnership with them, White Company, who we have on board, and lots of other ones. So any sort of product and service comms, that was all sort of in my remit for the year. Yeah, I absolutely loved it. A really great opportunity to sort of get a taster of marketing in the real world, as opposed to just in theory at university. And then after that placement year, I carried on as a campus ambassador, as did Alex, where we sort of promote the different opportunities at BA, whether it's apprentices, grad schemes, placements, internships, sort of on our university campuses. So it was a great way to sort of stay involved with British Airways whilst I was back at university. So that's myself, and I'll pass over to Alex.
Yeah, so myself, I did business and management at the University of Reading. So very much like Megan, I joined in 2018 on the business placement program. That program, you can be placed anywhere within the business. So my role was within Heathrow operations, in particular, it was business development exec. So I kind of worked a lot around the operation every day. So my work was a lot to do with Motor Top, which is the robotic pushback devices that we started using to cut down on the number of the diesel powered tractors we have to use. And it kind of cut down our emissions drastically, improved our efficiency in the operation. And I did a lot of work around how we introduced those and kind of the reliability and what the guys who are using them every day are saying and how we can improve them. So a lot of my role was around that, but I also kind of touched on the A350, which is our newest aircraft. That joined us in 2019. So I represented our business area in the launch of that, and was lucky enough to go on the first ever flight on the A350 within BA. Where we did a little tour around the UK and landed back down to make sure everything was working properly. But that kind of sums up what you kind of get up to in that year, which is actually a really great introduction to BA. I mean, I could never have believed the amount we got up to and the amount of responsibility we got just in the 11th month placement we did. And then, as Megan said, we were both invited to come back as campus ambassadors. So whilst at university, we represented BA, we promoted the graduate opportunities and answered any questions and helped people with their applications during that time. And then that moves us on to what we're up to now.
So yeah, we're now back at British Airways. So we're on the Future Leader graduate programme, which sort of carries on from the placement year, but you can join externally without doing a placement. And we'll go into more detail about our grad scheme a bit further on. But in general, you rotate around the business. So for our first year, it's been quite operational, and due to COVID, it's been a bit different to normal just because of operational requirements. We've had to help out a little bit more in placements that were meant to be a bit shorter. So we were meant to be on the ground and flying for a total of 6 months, but because of operational reasons, we've been doing it for the last year. So we did 6 months on the ground where we were trained up and we worked as check-in, we worked at the gates for the gate teams, we worked in the lounges. It was a really good opportunity over at Terminal 5 to fully understand the customer's journey from the moment they get to the airport to the moment they get on the plane. And it was all across sort of December last year as well, where a lot of COVID restrictions were happening. So we were staying up to date with that and dealing with quite high pressure situations with passengers that weren't able to get their flights because they had the wrong COVID test. So it was a great sort of development opportunity for us to really understand the business on the ground. And then after that, we trained up as cabin crew. So for the last 6 months, we've been flying all around the world, fully understanding the customer proposition there and what it's like to be cabin crew and the product and service that we deliver to our customers. And the added benefit of the fact we've been able to travel around the world for the last 6 months to some really great destinations, which has been a great sort of learning experience, like professionally and personally. And it's definitely a major focus of not just this graduate scheme, but British Airways in general, is that you're not just sort of siloed to one department. You really can move from marketing to the operation to finance to being cabin crew. It's a massive focus at BA is that you get a holistic experience of the operation as a whole and you don't just stay in one area. So yeah, it's been great and a really good opportunity to fully understand the product and service that BA offers and
so
get some traveling.
We're currently just about to start our preferencing period. So next week we meet our next managers, so we'll move into our head office role starting at the end of September. So yeah, I got back from Doha yesterday morning, my recent one, and then I'm off to Munich this week. So it's a great opportunity as well to see the world and travel and also stay in these places that you'd never think of staying before. So it's a great opportunity for that. And as Megan says, you get to see so much of the business that you can then take forward into your next role. So whilst it felt like a long time in the short term, in the long term, it's been definitely worth doing just to see all the aspects of the business. So I guess that takes us on. What's it really like to work for an airline like British Airways? I mean, the business is ever changing. You'll always see articles in the news, and I'm sure most people will have seen stuff recently around the cancellations and the challenges we face on the ramp up after COVID. So from staffing issues to entry requirements of different countries, whether we can fly to them, to things like wars happening, so the war in Ukraine and stuff like that, which affects where we can fly. So there's always a new challenge coming up. I mean, and since we've been there's been countless challenges, and I don't expect any of that to change. But what that does create is opportunity, and just it means that whenever you go into work, you know there's going to be something happening. Certainly when I was on the ground in my placement year, something would happen, and suddenly it'll be all boots on the ground, and everyone would have to help out, get the customers off to where they need to go, and everyone kind of comes together as one team, which is something which I really have enjoyed about BA. And then there's more smaller side of things, kind of the graduate community. Megan herself is part of the grad committee that we have. So we kind of, as a community, are quite close knit. We all use each other to network and then find out any information we need. So we have grads in finance to commercial analytics to data analytics. So the whole purpose is to try to create this community where not only we're friends outside of work, but also we use each other within work and kind of build on that as we progress through our careers at BA. And certainly a lot of the senior leaders that are within BA now, lots of them did start, in fact, on the grad schemes, and they still all tell us that they've still got their networks that are still there and still vital for them. I think something that's kind of come into real force in the last few years is the sustainability. Working for an airline, we are a large polluter, so that is one of our biggest focuses now is how can we become sustainable and make sure we reduce our impact on the environment, from sustainable aviation fuels to all sorts of different aspects of that. And we'll show you a video shortly on a bit more what we're doing around that. And I think I've touched on it already, there's always a chance to make a difference. We both had countless opportunities within our placement where we were running projects, we were leading, and we'll see that as we go into our next placements as well. As a grad you are, or as a placement, whatever it is, you're given the opportunity, you're given the responsibility to make decisions and back them up. And if you make mistakes, then there's always people there to support you. And I think that's something that's really, really relevant with this scheme.
Yeah, so a little bit about life at BA sort of outside of the 9 to 5. There's lots of opportunities to get involved in different projects, different charity trips. So for example, myself and Alex were lucky enough to arrange a charity trek in Italy. So this was a few years ago now, before COVID, and it was part of the Flying Start. So we raised over £5,000, it was, through different fundraising efforts, which sort of finished with this trip where we trekked over 100 kilometres with the aim of raising money and getting sponsorships, which was obviously just an amazing opportunity to go and visit Italy and to like really challenge ourselves personally and physically with the aim of raising money. So that was a really fulfilling opportunity, which we wouldn't have got without British Airways. And yeah, as Alex said, we've got a graduate committee where we arrange socials quite regularly, and there's lots of opportunities at BA just for different sort of activities outside of your 9 to 5. So even if you are based in our head office, there's always opportunities to go and shadow over at engineering, in the operation. Aircraft visits happen a lot with some really passionate engineers who've been working for BA for sort of 30 years that just love to share about their job and about the aircraft in general, which is always sort of a really enriching activity outside of sort of your 9 to 5. And it means you can really sort of get in touch with the operation. And there's, of course, like there's socials that happen outside of work, which aren't arranged by work. But once you sort of have that graduate network, you do all become friends, and, you know, there's life outside of BA, which I'm really grateful for as well.
So as I said, one of our key aspects is Better World. So as part of that, I'm going to share with you a short video.
At British Airways, we believe flying is magical. It transports us to faraway places and connects us to our friends, our families, and our favourite destinations. It propels the economy, creates livelihoods, and delivers vital aid to people when they need it the most. But we recognise that flying comes at a cost, and that we need to take urgent action to tackle the impact it has on our planet. That's why we're on a journey to a better, more sustainable future. We're putting sustainability at the heart of our business, already reducing our emissions and our waste, helping to care for the planet and the communities we serve, creating an inspiring, diverse, and inclusive place for our people to work, and building a more resilient and responsible business. We're calling this journey BA Better World. For our business, This means embedding sustainability into every aspect of our operations, pioneering innovation, driving environmental performance, and influencing sector-wide change for good. For our people, this means creating a great place to work where everyone can thrive. For the planet, it means we're driving urgent action towards net zero emissions with a clear roadmap of short, medium, and long-term initiatives to get us there, and pioneering innovations in low-carbon solutions, plus employing circular economy principles across our supply chain to eliminate single-use plastics and cut food waste. For our customers, we're constantly enhancing our onboard experience, delivering world-class service with the finest quality menus, all curated with a focus on in-flight sustainability. And for the wider world, this means providing life-changing opportunities and sustainable benefits for communities around the globe. It means working alongside relief charities to deploy our people and resources to communities affected by crisis. And it means upholding the highest standards of corporate governance and ethical practice, and continuing to contribute to wider society through our wages, taxes, and shareholder returns. But this is only the beginning. As we embark on our second century of flying with pride, connecting Britain with the world and the world with Britain, we're excited at what's ahead, bringing together our people, our customers, and our partners to deliver what we believe will be our greatest achievement. Welcome on board BA Better World, our most important journey yet.
So I think, as I touched on, I think it's our, as I said, it's our most important thing, focus, or most important focus of the business currently is the sustainability side of things, and it's really become apparent, I think, over the past couple of years. So currently, any role you do within BA, you're asked basically to embed sustainability within it. So we've not only kind of just created a sustainability area, whereas it can be classed as a bit of greenwashing, I suppose. It's now becoming a central part of absolutely every business decision the company's making. So certainly a number of our roles that we could be moving into in September, I think at least 4 of them are sustainability focused. So whether that's an operational sustainability lead, I think is one of the roles, and things like that. But every single one of those roles mentions sustainability, and I think that's really going to be the focus now for the next few years. As you can see, it's our most important journey yet. So as part of that, we've got to make some big decisions, and we've got to make some big change to become that sustainability. So it's an exciting time to join, and I think Enactus kind of embeds a lot of those values, some of the work that you guys are doing. Hopefully we can then transition over and use it as an airline as well. So there is that opportunity there, and I think it's certainly a good time to be joining if you are interested in that area as well.
So a bit about sort of the graduate programs at BA and graduate programs in general. So it's typically your first role outside of university, but that doesn't mean you have to just finish university to apply. It's open to anyone who has that degree. So you could have graduated and had a few years out and then apply for our graduate programs. So the real focus is it's a real job with real responsibility. It's no different to an entry-level role, except you've got that added sort of support network and development opportunities, which you don't get outside of a graduate scheme. And most of our graduate schemes are between 2 and 3 years to complete them. And there's also opportunities to gain different qualifications depending on the different schemes that you go into.
So yeah, so for 2022, we're ranked number 17 in the top 300 graduate employers, and I believe we're pretty stable. I think we've been growing over recent years. So I know there's a big push to try and improve that even further over the coming years. And a few interesting facts about the graduate scheme. So we recruit over 40 graduates each year across a wide range of areas. There's currently over 60 graduates in the business. So I think it's probably a few less than there should be, just because we were delayed a year on our one just because of COVID, but it's slowly creeping up now, and we're increasing the number we have inside the business. So and we're the first UK airline to provide paid internships for undergraduates, which is a more recent development that we've done. And our graduates have the opportunity to travel the world. So as we're currently doing, you certainly can as well. Not just within the Future Leader one, there's always opportunities as well with some of the other graduate schemes. There's always chances to travel to different events and different reasons you might need to travel. We're an airline at the end of the day, so there's always something going on across the world. And then moving on to the specific graduate schemes. So these are 3 of the schemes we run. So there's data science, which is focused on the data side of things. And I won't go through it, absolutely everything you require. You can find all this information out on our website as well, on the careers site. You can see what's required. But all of our grad schemes require 2-2. And then some of them have some more specific requirements, such as the data science, which is the minimum of B at A-level maths. So the data science is specific to the data. Then commercial analytics is similar to data science. You work with a lot of data, but it's focused around the commercial side of the business. So if you're interested in that and you have a commercial side, that's definitely for you. And then there's the finance grad scheme. Again, this one's 3 years, and you will get an official qualification out of this scheme. So if that one again appeals to you, that was for you there.
And then moving into the Future Leaders sort of programs, there's 3 different elements that you can join. So I'll start with the internship as the shortest one. So that's a 3-month internship, and that is actually new to BA. We've had the first set of interns a couple of years ago, and it's opportunity to sort of get a taster of BA and the aviation industry. And it's a requirement that you're an undergraduate student, and that can be in your first year summer, second year summer. You could even do it after graduating if that's how you wanted to sort of set up your career path. It's a really great opportunity, and the interns that have just finished this summer have had so many opportunities, great networking opportunities as well, and they worked on some really good projects separately. They also came together for a sustainability project, which they actually presented to some IAG sort of senior managers. So yeah, really great opportunities. It's definitely a jam-packed 3 months. And then there's the Future Leaders business placements. That's what myself and Alex completed, and that's in your penultimate year. So you're a second year student, and part of your degree is an industrial placement. And you can be placed anywhere across the business. I was in marketing and Alex was in the operation, but it depends on the business needs at the time. So it really could be anywhere. Wherever you've got an interest, you can always sort of preference that, but it's all depends on what the managers need at that time. But again, it's a really great opportunity to just get that 11-month sort of taster of BA. And there's the graduate scheme, which is a 3-year graduate programme, which we're currently on at the moment. And again, it's a rotational scheme, and you'll have the opportunity to fly and to work on the ground. And then you've got some business placements where you'll get involved in sort of more high-level projects, dealing with lots of different stakeholders. As always, a focus on autonomy. You're going to be responsible for projects and people sort of throughout those 3 years. So yeah, all the information's on ba.com on the careers page for those individual schemes. And yeah, you can sort of get all the information there, to be honest. But the Future Leaders one's what myself and Alex have completed. So what's in it for you? We've covered a few aspects of this, but you'll obviously be part of the graduate network. So there's socials, there's forums where we have, we had the CEO, Sean, he came to one of our last forums. We have senior managers, internal and external to BA, where you can sort of ask questions, network. It's a really great opportunity to sort of just have that graduate network made up for you, which you might not have when you sort of enter a job outside of a graduate scheme. Yeah, as Alex has mentioned about Be a Better World, there's always opportunities to get involved with that and our sustainability vision. We've got volunteering opportunities, and we also have different community groups at BA, which are really important. So we've got our LGBTQ+ groups, we have our Black Excellence groups called Be Me, and there's lots of opportunities for different sort of communities to come together within BA. We have thousands upon thousands of employees across the world, but there's a massive focus on community at BA, which is really important. And then yeah, we've got different volunteering and schools opportunities. And a really important one is the perks of having heavily discounted flights. So there's different opportunities there in terms of what you have access to. But it's a big focus at the moment is improving the staff travel, and it has been improving sort of year on year, where you really can travel across the world for heavily discounted flights, which is obviously a massive bonus, and you can share that with friends and family, which is a really great perk.
Yes, I guess to move on to a bit more about applying and our tips for your applications if you did want to apply. So kind of the key focus we did, we've been involved in the recruitment. So as a grad, if you are lucky enough to be on the scheme, you'll then be involved in the future recruitment process. So what we always say is keep up to date with the aviation and BA news, step to date with all the relevant information that's coming out. There's always articles, good and bad, coming out, but step up to date, think about what you might do in those situations. Consider the opportunities and the challenges that BA face, and the industry faces the new entrants to the market. There's always new airlines starting, there's always airlines closing. So just keep up to date, see what's going on, and consider what opportunities and challenges are out there for us. And then fully understand the scheme you're applying for. So take your time to look at the job description, look at the skills and what we look for, and kind of understand what you're applying for, and take your time over that application. And also think about what you've done, whether it is group projects at university, whether it's work, whether it's volunteering, or whatever it might be. All of those are relevant, and all those can be used in your application. So we always say just take your time to think about what skills you've developed, and trying to compare them how they might fit into a BA grad scheme. And as I said, take your time, not just over the application process, but in the interview, take your time. I think one thing BA is great at is as we said, it's like a family, it's a community aspect. So I never found any of the process too daunting once you start. It's always a bit scary in the build up, but once you're in, everyone makes you feel kind of at home. So just take your time and be yourself. Every single person on our grad scheme is different. There isn't a certain character BA looks for. It's just for you. So just sell yourself at the end of the day, and that's what we're looking for.
So yeah, as Alex said, it's all about being yourself. There's a few sort of general competencies and behaviours that do make you a great candidate for BA. So a positive attitude, being really passionate about customer service, and that applies to any of the schemes. Ultimately, every decision you make at BA, you should be thinking about the customer, and that's sort of the end goal throughout. So any previous experience you have when you're thinking about your application, we really are customer focused. So that's a massive top tip, just customer. Good communication skills, strong team players. We want good problem solvers. As Alex has mentioned, the aviation industry is a really challenging one, especially with the last few years, but even before that, anything, there can be a storm on one side of the world and that affects the entire British Airways operation. So we need problem solvers, need to be self-motivated and proactive, and sort of, the general application tips, reliable, punctual, adaptable, resilient. That's definitely sort of what we're looking for. But as Alex has said, there's no sort of one size fits all. It really is about being yourself.
Yeah.
And so the recruitment process, all this I think can be found on our website as well. You apply online via the BA Careers website. I believe you can set up email notifications already. So I haven't got any exact dates, but I imagine in the next month or two, the applications will be going live. That's for the graduate scheme, any of the graduate schemes, the placement, and then the internships. So there'll be written questions, online ability tests. And if you get through that, there's a video interview. And after that, there'll be a virtual assessment day, which includes interviews, group discussions, work-related exercises. But there'll be support throughout all of these stages, whether that's on the website or via email from our recruitment team. There's always support available. And then, of course, if you're successful, it's then a case of accepting the offer, completing your checks, and then starting your journey at British Airways.
Perfect. And then we do also have a portal, if you like, which can give you a bit more information on BA, a bit more information specific to the graduate schemes. It's called Speedbird. So the link's at the bottom. I'm sure we can also pop it in the chat in a minute as well. But on there, you'll find there's aviation modules, there's recruitment modules, there's all sorts of ways that you can learn a bit more about the business, keep up to date. And there's also digital mentors. So one of our fellow grads is on there. I believe Alex is on there. So she's one of the mentors on there that you can then chat to. If you've got any questions or anything like that, you can go to them. And as we said already, there's the jobs and opportunity border there as well, which then links onto the careers website. So if you are interested and you want a bit more information, I definitely recommend going onto this site, signing up, and having got some of those modules, and you're kind of equipped and ready to apply when those applications do come out. So I guess that all that leaves us to say is good luck with your applications. If you are interested, we're both Megan and I are becoming Enactus coaches. So if we're at your university, then definitely come and chat to us. And if you do have any questions right now, then we're more than happy to take any questions and answer it the best we can. If we can't answer, we'll take away and we'll come back to you with the answers.
Yeah, as always, please feel free to pop any questions in the chat. I actually have one of my own, and that is very interesting. When you were going through the recruitment process, talking about the virtual assessment centre, which is something relatively unique that we've not seen with some of our other partners' recruitment processes. I'm wondering if you could give some sort of insight or some top tips into kind of how to approach virtual group work as opposed to like an in-person assessment centre. What do you think?
Yeah, it's definitely challenging. We were involved in the recruitment for this year's grads, which was all virtual, and it's a different ballpark. But I think that it's the same things apply. It's staying calm. It is a different way of doing things, but we do so much now virtually that it's no different to a virtual seminar or whatever it might be. It's normally on Teams that we did last year, and then you're put into breakout rooms for a group exercise. And what we always say is make sure you say what you want to say in that time. It's very easy to often, I think, sit back and not say anything, and that's very hard for then the markers to give you any points for that. And then you'll do an interview with 2 or 3 grads or 2 or 3 senior leaders, whoever it might be, whoever's on the interview panel. But again, just treat it almost like it is in real person. It's no different to that. It just happens to be that it's online, so it's a bit hard to build those relationships. But I think just take your time and just stay calm with it.
I guess as well, the kind of same principles apply that we talk about a lot at Enactus UK in terms of understanding your personal brand and how you come across on video. Things like making sure that you're in a quiet place, you're dressed smart, you're not wearing like shorts on the bottom half, that type of stuff. And just making sure that you're kind of conscious of your personal brand. I think we've got a hand raised from Susan as well.
Yeah, hello. Sorry, I just wanted to find out because I'm not an undergraduate student. Doing PhD, and I've got a background being cabin crew. I worked in South Africa for 8 years. That was for South African Airways. But when I left, I decided to take a different path for that moment because there was some illness in the family. So now that you are saying that the recruitment process is only for undergraduates, is that right? Or did I miss something?
I believe it is undergraduates, but we might have to double check with the team that are responsible for the resourcing. I think you have to have an undergraduate, but can we double check for you? And I'm sure, Charlie, if we can link up or something, we can give you the answer for that one. Definitely, because I don't want to say yes or no, but I think it is undergraduates, but we can definitely double check 100% for you.
Okay, thank you.
That's great. I actually had another question relating to, obviously, you talked about sustainability being the heart of British Airways. In terms of the graduate scheme, how much opportunity do you have to kind of get involved in external initiatives? I know it's a bit of a loaded question because I know you're both signed up as Enactus coaches as well. But what are the sort of opportunities that you can get involved with as a graduate at BA?
Yes, there's definitely, first of all, as Enactus, that sort of comes through our emerging talent team. They're always sending us sort of opportunities, whether that's getting involved with Enactus. Myself and Alex, we've been to lots of schools where we've spoken not about graduate schemes, but about British Airways in general, lots about sort of visibility, so getting in front of students and talking about the opportunities that are there. For example, getting women into STEM has been a big passion, sort of going to schools and letting young girls know that you can become a pilot, you can become an engineer, just because historically maybe men have been in those roles. So there's loads of opportunities like that. There's opportunities with Flying Start is a massive one, sort of the charity element. So always opportunities there. And then sort of general development opportunities. So a big focus is on our sort of continued professional development, so our CPD, and getting involved in networking sessions and having a mentor and coaching sessions, and sort of learning outside of the 9 to 5 and doing sort of skill bites and getting involved with different external projects. For example, myself and Alex are signed up to be part of the crisis management team. So when there is a crisis, we're going to be trained up as log keepers, so we can be in those big important meetings as the log keeper and understanding what's going on there and networking there. So I feel like I just said a lot of different things all at once, but there are just so many different opportunities outside of the 9 to 5, and that's the biggest benefit of a graduate scheme, I think, is getting those opportunities sort of fed into you, and you don't have to do them all, but just sort of picking and choosing what appeals to you. Yeah, it's a really great opportunity.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you so much for that. I think if we haven't got any more questions, we'll probably close there. Thank you so much, Alex and Megan, for taking us through that. It's been fascinating to see all the opportunities that are available. Amazing company, so interesting, so diverse in what you can do and get involved with, and the development opportunities available to you on the scheme. So I know, as Alex has done, he's posted the link in the chat to find out more about the opportunities that are available. We have another question from Sabana. Do we have anything for master students from an MBA in marketing?
Yeah, so if you've also obviously got your undergraduate degree and then done your master's, you can then still apply for our graduate programs. So a good couple of the current graduates, they've got their master's, whether it's in business or marketing or geography, history. It doesn't have to be business related at all. So yeah, all of our graduate schemes, they're open to anyone with sort of any qualifications after they've done their undergraduate. So if you've done your undergraduate and then gone on to do a master's and then a marketing qualification, you can then still join on our graduate program.
Yeah, there isn't a specific marketing graduate scheme that you
No.
would be looking at. Potentially anything. There's not really a specific requirement to have a certain degree for most of the schemes. Often people go obviously on the Future Leader one from a marketing background, and then you get to see a wide variety of areas. Lots of the placements are within commercial, we often find, but yeah, there's loads of opportunities to kind of see all sorts of areas.
And we've got a raised hand from Jess as well.
Hi there. Hi guys. Thanks for the session. It was great, really insightful. I was just wondering if perhaps you could shed a bit of light on, I mean, you've spoken about the various initiatives and it sounds amazing, the graduate scheme, that kind of thing. But perhaps if you could shed some light on maybe some of your mentors that you've had at BA, or, you know, some of the seniors you mentioned, a lot of them have come from the graduate scheme themselves. What are the types of kind of seniors that you see there, and how have they helped with your development?
Am I going? You again?
Okay.
So yeah, as we said, there's lots of senior leaders are ex-graduates. So I think there's 2 members of the directors board that are ex-graduates. And what they all say is that they were always up for coming to a session. BA is very much somewhere where you can just say, "Could I have a coffee with you?" to anyone within the business. And I'd say 99% of the time they would say, "Absolutely, go for it." There's very much, especially with being a grad as well, you kind of get these opportunities to meet them. So personally, I've still got people that I met when I started who are head of BA cabin crew now. So he's head of in-flight product in BA. He's an ex-graduate, and I speak to him quite regularly. And he's definitely a close mentor. But there's loads of people out there that are ex-grads that are more happy to have a coffee. So you can often find someone within an area who is a grad, who will then you can become a mentor or be mentored by them. And then as a graduate as well, I think we're introducing more now a mentorship scheme, so where you'll have someone in the year above you or 2 years above you would then become your mentors to support you as you introduce into the scheme and kind of help further on that side of things as well. So that's also coming, I think we've been told about recently as well.
Yeah, just to echo what Alex has said there, it's definitely a culture of popping someone a message and sort of gaining advice from them. It's a very sort of casual networking environment that it would never be odd to message a senior leader asking to have 10 minutes of their time. And for me, some of the best sort of mentors that I've had are graduates that are 3, 4, 5 years above me that I met 3 or 4 years ago. And they've obviously been through the experience. They're now in really great roles, you know, leading great projects. So that sort of network you get as being a graduate, being able to reach out to the graduates in older years, it's just invaluable being able to sort of learn from them. So yeah, they're some of my most useful mentors because they're sort of working their way up a few years ahead of me, so you can sort of really learn from their experiences.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, guys.
That's okay.
Thanks, Jess.
We've got a question from Haji in the chat that I've just seen. I won't read it all out, but essentially asking, are there any opportunities for non-university students? So before going to university?
Yeah, so if you were choosing to not go to university and go down the apprenticeship route, there's apprenticeships all across the business. So engineering, on the ground as sort of check-in desks, business. I think there's a couple of other ones, they're all on the website. So So they're really great opportunities, which you gain a qualification which is almost equivalent to a degree, which you get alongside your studies. So if you aren't a university student, I think all of the British Airways apprenticeships are excellent, and there's so much great feedback. And again, there's some senior business leaders that have come from our apprenticeship programs. So they're a really great opportunity as well. I think you said about aspiring to become a pilot. There's obviously opportunities there as well. I know with some of our short haul subsidiaries, I'll have to check into it, but there's opportunities coming up soon for people that want to go into flying without having their degree and their qualifications and becoming trained up. That's sort of coming back in the coming years. So yeah, there's definitely opportunities for non-university students at BA, and there's always direct entry. So there's hundreds of jobs sort of on LinkedIn which you don't need a degree for, but you might have previous experience, or apprenticeship levels are definitely the way to go.
I think Susan has also shed a little bit more light on her background, saying that she didn't complete undergraduate degree. So I guess
yeah, so yeah, if you've got your undergraduate, Susan, then 100% the graduate scheme would be an opportunity for you. It doesn't have to be that you've just got undergraduate or you've just finished. I can see you've got sort of a wealth of education as well as having been cabin crew. Then yeah, I would definitely recommend it as an option for sure. I hope that helps.
That's brilliant. Thanks so much, Megan and Alex. It's always a way when I say, "Oh, we're done. No more questions." 5 more questions pop up in the chat. It just goes to show how excited people are about getting to know more about the scheme. It's great to see. Thank you so much to everybody joining the call today, especially Alex and Megan for taking the time out to talk to us this afternoon. As I said, great to hear about all the opportunities that are available at British Airways, and looking forward to seeing all your applications flying in. That was genuinely no pun intended there. Over the sort of autumn time. So brilliant. Thank you very much again. Megan's just posted the link in the chat. Thanks, Megan and Alex, and to everybody else. Take care. Have a great weekend, and we'll see you on the next one. Take care. Goodbye.
Thank you.
Thanks
Bye.
very much.